I suppose the simplest way I can put it is that life is about more than fitness. My own life is was so wrapped up in fitness and biohacking and nutrition and all the things, but ultimately I kind of realized that that's not the ultimate source of fulfillment. It's great, it's helpful, but I feel like that chapter of my life is done.
Hey, Hilda here. I bring you experts, experiences, and epic adventures to boost your health. I recently was at Paleo FX, and I knew I wanted to talk with Ben Greenfield. He is that bodybuilder, a guy who coaches CEOs on health and wellness, and the guy who's behind the Ben Greenfield Life podcast. We just took 10 minutes of his time, but the cool thing is, you guys, he told us why he's on kind of a new trajectory in his life and with his brand, and he also told us a secret he's never before said in public. So check it out.
Ben.
Hi.
It's so good to see you again. I feel like we've had a lot of conversations about ancestral living and invisible things that influence our health. And I noticed a shift recently in your brand from Ben Greenfield Fitness to Ben Greenfield Life.
Yeah.
What does that mean and why? Why did you do it?
Well, in summary, I suppose the simplest way I can put it is that life is about more than fitness. My own life is was so wrapped up in fitness and biohacking and nutrition and all the things, but ultimately I kind of realized that that's not the ultimate source of fulfillment. It's great, it's helpful, but I feel like that chapter of my life is done. And although I will always love health and fitness and nutrition and all the things that are just part of the amazing function of our bodies and our brains and our physiology, I think at the end of the day you reach a point where you realize that no matter how much you focus on that, even if you have the perfect diet and you're the most fit person on the face of the planet, it's not that fulfilling. I've gotten pretty close to the top of the mountain, fitness-wise, and all the muscle, and do the races and everything, and it's really it's cool, but it's not that fulfilling, and family, God, Jesus, music, just going for a walk in the sunshine instead of churning away on a treadmill at the gym. There's just so many other parts of life that are interesting, and even for me personally, politics and economics and art and all these avenues that I haven't really explored yet on my blog and on my podcast, I'm interested in. I think that to a certain extent, for me to be branded as Ben Greenfield Fitness kind of paints me into the corner of it having to be about fitness, when frankly that's not, I still love fitness, I love workout and stuff, but it's not the ultimate for me anymore.
I get it, because isn't there a verse in the Bible that says bodily discipline is only of little profit, but spiritual discipline holds profit because it holds profit for the present life and also for the life to come.
Right. It's of some profit, and like I was saying, it's not for me that I don't think it's important. It's that there's a lot of other things in life that I'm interested in. The way I've always run my business is I've just done the things that I'm curious about, that I'm inspired to look into, that I love, and then I teach people about that along the way. And the fact that there's so many other aspects of life I'm now interested in has dictated that I just want to do more than fitness.
I gotta be straight up with you. You seem so much more grounded, so much healthier than the last time I saw you, which was 3 years ago at this conference. You seemed tense and unhappy, even though you were at your probably still are peak fitness, but there was something missing, and maybe that's what this is about.
Yeah, maybe that, or somebody gave me a bad cup of coffee. I don't know. soon.
But Melly, you wanted to ask him a little bit about some of the fitness hacks, because obviously you're still doing stuff, right? I mean, fitness for your own sake.
Oh
and your
yeah,
family's sake.
yeah. No, I still try to take care of myself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And for the people that are aware of their spirituality and connected, and somehow they feel that their vitality is not as high and they can focus, they can concentrate. Maybe they're doing the basics of health optimization. Which do you think are the top 3-5 health interventions that they can do to after they get their game?
Yeah. I think that if someone is already exercising and they're already eating somewhat healthy, you know, just natural, organic, whole, recognizable food that preferably isn't processed or packaged or full of vegetable oils and whatnot, that a few things that I think people could be doing more of that they're not doing enough of, even people who are already like working out really well or following the perfect diet, would be mostly based around the health of the mitochondria. And that would be getting outside like barefoot or touching trees and rocks, or even using a lot of the type of biohacking technology that you see around here, like the pulsed electromagnetic fields and all these electrical frequencies that, unlike cell phones and Wi-Fi routers and radio towers, are not harmful for the body, but instead help the cells to have a proper electrical gradient across the membrane of the cell. That whole concept of grounding and earthing and electricity, treating the body as an electric machine's battery, is important. Sunlight, photons of light, biohacks that use red light and infrared light, and just this whole idea of acknowledging the fact that we are light beings and our cells respond to light and produce light. That's another area that I think a lot of people could do better on. Right? So grounding and earthing, sunlight and red light, and light photonic energy in general. I think that probably being comfortable, being uncomfortable is another thing that some people, despite they can be good at working out, but they really aren't that good at managing the body's stress response or the nervous system resilience in response to things like, well, specifically like heat and cold. I think more people should be doing like really hot sauna that kind of gets them uncomfortable, and really cold expeditions, you know, cold showers and cold soaks. And then I think probably the last thing would be like water and mineralization, like really good water and really good mineral intake. And if you look at all that stuff, kind of big picture, like grounding and earthing and sunlight, and heat and cold, and water and minerals, that's all kind of like mitochondria and battery based. And you stack that on top of exercising and eating healthy, and I think that would solve a lot of problems for many people.
Yes, well, that's wonderful. Any other recommendation that you could give people that are looking for purpose, high vitality, and a joyful life?
Yeah, I talked about this in my talk a little bit today about the importance of caring for yourself spiritually. And for me, I think that the way I think about it is this idea, and I've written about this before, of bookends, meaning you start your day with God and taking care of your spiritual fitness and setting a standard for the rest of the day, and you end your day that way too. Because a lot of people, they wake up, and I even do this sometimes, like when I'm traveling especially, probably because my wife isn't there to hold me accountable, but I'll roll over and turn my phone on, which is always a mistake, and I'm always like, why did I just do that, right? So, you know, you leave your phone off in the morning, and you have a gratitude practice, and you pray to God, and you read the Bible or read a devotional, and just feed and fuel your spirit in the same way that you would drink your coffee and have your breakfast and everything else. End of the day, same thing. We gather as a family in my kids' bedroom, and we pray and we journal and we examine our day and we sing a song. And then when my wife and I are falling asleep, the last thing we do when our heads are on our pillow, even if we're really tired and it's only like 30 seconds long sometimes, we pray. And so the beginning and the end of the day is not like wake up, because I totally would have given you this advice like 10 years ago. I'm like, have your running shoes next to your bed.
Yes.
Wake up, put on your, like, go and just start running. And then at the end of the day, like, yeah, like, relax, have a glass of wine, watch some Netflix, you know, tune down. And I'm not saying like those are, like I don't have anything against those activities, but I think starting and ending the day, just focusing on the most important part of your soul, it influences your relationships and your conversations and your outlook on life and how you respond to stress when you start the day, kind of like I was talking about during my talk, with putting on your spiritual armor and acknowledging the sacred spirituality of life, and then you end your day the same way. And it's like so simple, but you know, all the other stuff I was talking about, you know, the fitness and the nutrition, the bioenergetics, and the body as a battery, and the photons of light, and you're like, all that stuff is great, but I just think that it needs to be kind of contextualized with that concept of bookending with spirituality. And I wish I'd kind of been doing that my whole life, and now that I'm focusing more on that, I think I'm healthier.
This is amazing. Ben, do you have any other non-negotiables for your day, for your week?
Oh, geez. Non-negotiables? You should ask my wife. She'd be like, that dude has way too many non-negotiables. All right. So,
maybe the
gosh.
top 5.
I'm just going to tell you the top thing that comes to mind. I don't think I've ever said this on any podcast before, but at least once a month, I eat a massive steak, and then I have a equally massive piece of carrot cake. And that's like my best night of the whole month. Well, I don't know. My wife would probably get mad about me saying that's my best night of the whole month, but it's a pretty good day when I have me some steak and carrot cake, and that happens at least 12 times a year. So that's my best tip. Steak and
That's
carrot cake.
awesome. Well,
Live
it's
a little
working
bit.
for you, and we are so happy for this place you're in. And I'm happy to see, I feel like there's a whole movement among biohackers and alternative health people to be more in tune with their purpose and their meaning in life and these spiritual practices that you're mentioning. So I'm thrilled that it's where you're at right now.
Well, thank you.
Like we are too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for interviewing me.
Oh,
Thank
our
you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Ben Greenfield sandwich.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know who else I should have on the show besides Ben, and if you want him back on again, because I'm sure I can work that out. Click on the notification bell so you can find out every time I post a video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And hasta pronto.